Zezmer, I don't remember. Anyway, the first Rebbe of Chabad, he gave him orders. Let me move this over here. The first Rebbe of Chabad gave him a lot of money, and he gave him orders that he should travel to a certain place and give this money to someone. And but he told him that when you go, don't even enter a house that has windows only on the north side. I think it was the north side or the east side. Anyway, let's say for our story, for the north side. Don't go to a house that only has windows on the north side. Okay, that's pretty easy. So he set out on this journey. It was a journey of, let's say, a day, 10 hours. Set out on the journey, and in the middle, all of a sudden, broke out this terrible storm. It was very, very cold, unbearable, with winds, with snow. And he didn't know how he would make it. He saw a house on the side of the road. He had never really seen this house before. He never noticed it, but it popped up. Amazing miracle. This will save him. And so he put his horse and his wagon around the side of the house where there wouldn't be a wind. And he knocked on the door. An old lady opened the door. And she said, "Oh, it's so cold outside. Come in." So she said, "My husband is going to be back in just a moment." He saw on the door there was a mezuzah, a Jewish lady. She said her husband was going to be right back soon. So he went into the house. He went into the house, and he was terribly cold. He warmed up, and so when is your husband going to be? She said, "Well, probably because of the storm. I'll leave the door open, so there won't be like yichud. You can't be together with a lady in the house alone." So she goes and she opens up the door, and he says, "Okay, while I'm waiting, I'll pray mincha over here." He looks outside. The storm is really howling. He davens mincha. Which way is east? She tells him that's the way is east. He looks, suddenly he realizes that there's no window on the east, there's no window on the west, no one on the south. There's only one window in the house on the north. As soon as he realizes that, he says, "Oh, I forgot something in my wagon. I'll be right back." He goes to the door, and the door is locked. He said, "The door is locked. I thought you said you were going to open the door." She said, "Oh, I must have turned the key the wrong way. That's really terrible. Okay, I'll bring the key and I'll open it up." He says, "Oh no, the key must have fallen through one of the cracks in the floor. But you don't have to worry, because my husband's going to come and he'll open up the door." So now he's really frantic. He would really like to get out. And he sees this window has like bars on it. She says, "Oh yeah, I have to put bars on the window because there's thieves there. We've been broken into several times." All of a sudden, the door opens up. He hears the key on the door. The door opens up. In comes this really huge man with these really big, huge fellows. They come in, and as soon as they see this Jew, immediately they grab him and they hold on to him, and one of them ties him up, and they take all the money that he's got. And he realizes, wow, these must be thieves. They have this house over here and they're thieves. And one of them says, "Okay, let's kill him, and we'll get." And another one says, "1 second, we can't kill him. We have to wait for Dad to come home. He's really going to be really angry, if we don't give him the option to kill somebody." They say, "Oh, that's a pretty good idea." So they sit down, and they're so happy. There's a lot of money there. They're so happy, and they make a few drinks. And suddenly, like about 15, 20 minutes later, their father comes in, opens the door. He says, "Oh, what do we have over here?" He said, "Oh, Dad, look, we tied him up, and we're leaving him for you to kill him. Get rid of the evidence." The father says, "Wow, you're a really good sons. I'm really very thankful to you. See, you've got a good upbringing can do. Thanks a lot. Let's make a party. We'll kill him. We'll get drunk, and then we'll kill him." So they drink. And one of the sons, he suggests, let's bring out some of the good vodka. And they bring out, anyway, they really get totally drunk. And they really get totally drunk, knocked out. As soon as they do, so the father comes over to him. He's got this big knife. They're all laying and they're sleeping. He's got this big knife. And he says, tell me, you're a follower of the first Rebbe of Chabad? He says, yes, I am. He said, well, he takes the knife and he cuts all of his ropes. And he gives them this golden coin. And he gives them all the money back that he had. And he said, when you go to the Rebbe, tell him to pray for me. Tell him to pray for me. But get out of here. So sure enough, he immediately runs outside. The weather is a little bit better. He drives back to the Alter Rebbe. He's like already like it was already like 6 hours into the ride. He had to go 6 hours back. The Alter Rebbe, as soon as he got there, the Alter Rebbe told him. He said, "Oh, you don't know what happened." The Alter Rebbe said, "I know what happened. The whole night I didn't sleep because of you." The Alter Rebbe said, "The whole night I didn't sleep because of you." So he said, "Here, take this coin." The man, the father of these boys, he let me loose and he gave me this coin. He said to give it to you and to pray for him. And this is his name. So the Alter Rebbe took the coin, golden coin, and he turned around and he stuck it in this like crack that was in the wall behind him. And he said, "Okay, I'll pray for him." And that was it. That was the story. The Alter Rebbe sent somebody else with the money when the weather was better, whatever. 3 years passed. This Chassid that the Alter Rebbe had sent, he already got married and he had children, but he was one of the secretaries of the Alter Rebbe. One day he heard a knock on the door, and there was a poor person there looking for charity. And he looked at this poor person and he realized this was the father that had let him go before. What had happened? What happened? When all the other sons woke up and they found that their father had let this man go, then their mother got insanely angry. She told the sons to beat up the father and to kick him out of the house. And that's what they did. They beat him up. They evicted him from the house, right? And he ran away. About a half an hour after they evicted him from the house, the police descended on the house, arrested everyone, and put them in jail. It seems that they had murdered several people and that the police had been looking for them for a long time. Somehow or other, the police suddenly realized where they were, who they were, and they arrested them all. As understood, the father wasn't in the house. He was gone. So he wasn't arrested with all of them. He wasn't arrested with all the boys. But meanwhile, what did the father do? He didn't have any money. He didn't have anything. He was still sort of half of a fugitive from the police. So he wandered around and he collected money. He would sleep in shuls, whatever. The Alter Rebbe, he came in asking for money from the Alter Rebbe. So this young man told him to wait for a moment by the door. He went to the Alter Rebbe and he told him the whole story. The Alter Rebbe turned around and he took the money, the silver dollar that he had put, or the golden coin that he had put in the wall. He took it from behind. He said, "Here, give him this and tell him that I prayed for him." And that's how everything came around back to its original source. Have a good day, everyone. 3 o'clock, please. We'll all be together. 3 o'clock.